Hello. What's happening, fellas? Good to see everybody tonight. And there's like a lot of background noise happening. And I don't know what that's from. Hold on a second. Yep, that's weird because there's not a lot of... Is that any better? All right. Hey, David, yourself. Good to see you, man. Some people were worried about you. I was even a little worried about you. So it's good to see you here lately. I haven't had a chance to tune in lately to kind of hear an update of what's going on, and hopefully you're doing all right, dude. I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk here in a couple of weeks in Birmingham. So, quick roll call for all the folks that are here tonight. We got Mike SSI. We got David Snyder. How you doing tonight, man? Hopefully the big Bronco is going well. Wild Bill, good to see you tonight. Gooniac, what's up? Victor, Shabulous, Mike Bird, Colin, Aero Air Shows, good to see you tonight, man. We got Shadow Ops RC, what is up? Mr. George Watts, Garrett being Garrett, how you doing tonight? Brian Chambers, good to see you. Oh, JCB 67, Nate Kugel, what is up? Awesome. So it looks like we're going to be seeing some American Airlines tonight from Nate. Hunter Yoakum, good to see you tonight. Jackson RC Aviation, what is up? Duan Smith. Hangar 51, FU. Let's see. There's a lot of folks tuning in tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know I've been absent the last couple of weeks. David yourself, man, it's good to see you too. David Wilson, what's up? All right. Jeff in Lower Alabama, Tyson Strong, good to see everybody. So just had to say hi to all the folks that are here tonight. Mike Bird, thanks, man. It is good to be back. Man, it's been a wild couple of weeks, so let's see. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, you know, I had been traveling all over. So the first absence, so I want to, you know, kind of explain because, you know, people like to speculate. I know I do. Yeah, Shadow Ops, I have been working quite a bit, you know. I was up till like 4:30 in the morning last night fixing a server issue at my job. So, you know, sometimes it happens when you work in a company that's running, you know, server farms for production work, and those servers decide that they don't want to work right anymore. The IT folks have the wonderful privilege of staying up until God knows when to make them work. So I almost pooped out again tonight, but I did get a chance to get some sleep in during the day today, which was awesome. But a couple weeks ago, I had just gotten back from RC Fest. I'm wearing my fancy RC Fest t-shirt tonight. And last week, it just was a long day of work, man. I didn't get done with work-related stuff till about 7:30, and it just wasn't going to give me time to like get dinner and feed the animals and all the other stuff that I needed to do before I start the show. It was just hectic. So we got a couple weeks of catch up to do. All right. So a couple weekends ago, not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, as some of you know, I was up in Monticello, Illinois, right outside. Oh my God. So Amy's not home, right? So the dogs, they're going to do what dogs do, right? They're going to bark. I can't do nothing to stop them. I can't like run upstairs and yell at them, right? So it just is what it is. If you hear the dogs barking, all the members in the house, put up your mini Doberman icons. And if you want your own set of mini Doberman icons, you can become a member of the RC Air Marshal YouTube channel for as low as $1.99 a month. That's like pennies a day. And support the channel, and you can have your very own mini micro UMX Doberman icons that you can throw up in the chat. They're fun. So, yeah, Mike SSI, that's what I'm talking about. George Watts, I know. I think it's funny. I know that they can be heard, you know, and they can get quite vocal. So anyway, y'all are seeing them. You see the UMX Dobermans in the chat. If you want your own set of UMX Dobermans, join the RC Air Marshal YouTube channel. Become a member today. $1.99 a month will get you your own UMX Doberman emoticons? Emojis? Yes. Yeah, when I was, George Watts was saying when he was support and production systems, he stayed up 3 days and nights doing an upgrade a few times. Good time. No, it's not good times. Yeah, so this issue that we've been working on, we've actually been working on it since Thursday, and we just got done last night at like 4:30 in the morning. And we had some servers that were freezing up at the top of the hour every hour, and we just couldn't figure it out, man. It was kicking our butts. I finally got it knocked out last night, and now everything has been smooth since then. And we are pretty dang excited to have the servers back up and running proper. Pilot Ryan, what is up, man? All right. So, yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, George, I don't miss him either. And I hate when that thing, you know, when that kind of crap happens. Now, you know, normally I don't get involved in that kind of stuff. I have a whole team of guys that takes care of, you know, IT issues and, you know, normal stuff. But this was, let's just say it had escalated to the highest tier of tech support. And that's how I got it fixed. Can y'all see his little face? You want to go in the camera? You want the people to see you? There you go. You want to walk on the desk? He's like, no. You can just put me on your lap. See you, Tyson. Have a good night, buddy. All right. So, yes, a couple weeks back, I was up outside of Champaign you know, where the headquarters for Horizon Hobby is, and went to the Horizon Hobby RC Fest at Eli Field in Monticello, Illinois. You guys haven't heard my is it Ryan? Hold up. Hold up. How's it now? Is it any better? You you be clipping, fool. You be clipping. All right. So it was awesome. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. He's looking for Amy, but she ain't gonna be home till tomorrow morning. Now, if you guys, and I get the mentality here. For most airplane guys, I think the ultimate destination is probably like Joe Knoll. You know, all air. Why does it keep doing weird stuff? All right. So it seems like all air guys, right? They want to go to Joe Knoll, which I totally get, right? Yeah, hopefully that fixed it. But I don't, I don't want to be clipping either. So I think most people, they have this vision of like Joe Knoll. That's like the ultimate RC fly-in. And I think that's true. You know, Joe Knoll is an awesome event. Thousands of pilots and everybody, you know, everybody should go to Joe Knoll at least once. But it's exclusively airplanes. And I think for people like myself that are interested in everything, the RC Fest that Horizon put on was like the ultimate show. You know, when you like surface and you like airplanes and you like all disciplines of airplanes and you like all disciplines of surface, so you can, you know, if you like just the standard off-road racing, I mean, that's what I started in RC on 30 years ago was, you know, two-wheel drive buggies. If you like the four-wheel drive bashers, if you like the little mini cars, if you like crawlers, if you like prop planes, high wings, low wings, warbirds, EDF jets, turbines, everything was on display at RC Fest. It was such an awesome event. And if you haven't been to it, I cannot say enough how just a great time RC Fest was for all of the people that I was there with. You know, so we were there with C Mafia, we were there with Bobby Committa, with Pilot Ryan, Che Hamilton from Hamilton's Hangar. You know, we were hanging out with all the folks that you guys see from the air side of Horizon. So Jason Merkel come and hang out with us. We were hanging out with Steve Petrato, who a lot of you guys may know the name and the face. I mean, it was just an amazing event. And it's something that you guys have to go and check out because there's nothing else like it. I haven't been to another event like RC Fest. I've been to plenty of airplane events, and they're awesome. Airplane events are great, but having something where everything was out there. I mean, we've got great airplane events happening all day long. You know, like there's this schedule of events that are going on and demos and things that people can participate in. They had figure 8 racing, you know, big track racing, rock crawling, timed rock crawling. They had a big basher course there. They had RC sumo wrestling where people were taking their big cars and, you know, pushing each other off like this big platform. It was great. It was so much fun for everybody. I mean, there's literally something there for everybody. It doesn't matter what you do. And obviously, you know, it's a place where anybody that loves RC can come and do whatever they want. with whatever they want. I was kind of under the impression when I first started packing up my things, right? Like, well, you know, I don't want to go there and bring a bunch of non-Horizon things, you know. So if you don't want to go there and be showing off like a free wing plane, you know, or flying a free wing plane at the Horizon RC Fest, don't worry about it. There were plenty of people there with Red Cat crawlers, Traxxas, Bashers, Free Wing, FMS, which is sold by Horizon, so that one was probably fine. But I mean, composite planes that Horizon doesn't even sell. There was a ton of stuff going on at RC Fest. All different makes and models were represented by, you know, there were custom cars. It's not just limited to you bringing a model that's sold by Horizon. You can bring whatever you want. They had a huge, well, it wasn't huge, but they had a, you know, for the size of the tent that they had it in, they had a tent set up like a hobby shop. And for the size of that tent, I mean, they had, yeah, Big Squid RC was there. For the size of the tent, they had all kinds of stuff, all at substantial discounts. Everything there was at least 10 to 15% off. You know, we happened upon what had to have been the best deal at the show, where, you know, if you had your parking pass from the show, they were going to give you $10 off whatever you bought, you know, in addition to the discount. So, you know, I mean, that could be a fairly good percentage, you know, depending on what you buy. I know that myself and Bobby, Committa, Ryan, we all went into the little hobby shop that Horizon had set up there, and we got 6S Creightons. All of us got 6S Creightons. $600 truck. We all got a Crayton for $440. So what is that? That's $160 off retail, no taxes. So $160 off. So that's more than 20%. You know, what is that, like 22, 23% off? $440 for a 6S Crayton. And we're not talking like the old school Crayton that came with like all the crappy electronics. This is the new version of the Crayton 6S that comes with your in-runner motor. I mean, they all had in-runner motors, but this comes with the Avian ESC, or the Firma ESC, excuse me. And it comes with the, you know, with the DSMX or the DSMR. Man, I keep going back to air stuff. So the DSMR receiver and the, all of the updated electronics were in this thing. I mean, like I said, this thing sells for $600 retail. $440, that was an amazing deal. I couldn't pass it up. And also while I was there, I got one of the low-C Mini T trucks, the brushless version of the Mini T truck. Man, I'll tell you what, that thing is a ball. It's 100% awesome in a little bitty package. You won't have much more fun in RC than a low-C Mini B or Mini T. Those things are fantastic little models. They're just like the tent scale buggies and the tent scale truck that low-C makes, like their race versions. They've just been shrunk. You know, and a lot of times when you see these things where they shrink them down, it's, you know, like they make a lot of compromises on the parts, right? So what you get is, yeah, it's a smaller version that kind of represents the real thing. But then when you start looking at it and you start paying attention, you're like, you know, they made a lot of compromises here to shrink this down. These little low-C Mini trucks, like the Mini T and the Mini B, no compromises made. It's like they took every single part and scaled it down to make it 1/16th scale or 18th scale or whatever it is. Like every part is spot on accurate. I mean, it's awesome. They're awesome. So, you know, check them out, man. If you're looking for like a little fun, you know, throw it out in the yard and let her rip, you know, little truck, little buggy, you can't go wrong with the Losi Mini T or Mini B. We got those too. So those things were awesome. Now, I don't have my Creighton 6S and I don't have my Mini B, Mini T. Yeah, I got the Mini T. Bobby Committa's got them at the Big Go warehouse. That was also really fun. We got to go, you know, so after everything was done, just to kind of explain, like, where was I 2 weeks ago? I tell the longest stories, but that's why y'all come here, right? 2 hours of listening to Air Marshal tell stupid stories. So, you know, my trip up there, I wasn't going to go to RC Fest. And then all of a sudden, you know, I was talking to Bobby, and, you know, Bobby says, well, hey, you know, you should come up here for RC Fest. We'll all drive down together. And I'm like, man, that just seems crazy. There's no way I'll be able to get away with that, right? So I start looking at, I mean, there's no way I'm driving up there. That's like 9-10 hours to get up to Chicago from here, or up to Champaign. Man, these dogs. So 9-10 hours of driving. That was going to take a while to drive. I was like, yeah, the only way I'm going up there is I'm going to fly, right? So I go and check Priceline.com. That's where I go to get my airline tickets. Priceline.com has round-trip tickets from Atlanta to Chicago and back. So full round trip for $113.99. Good Lord, these dogs. They're such idiots. So $113.99. I was like, that can't be real. I went ahead and bought the ticket. And of course, you know, it's only $113.99. I mean, the price was real. I couldn't believe it. I mean, at $113, yeah, you better believe I'm going. So Bobby meets me at the airport. And then we go back to South Bend. Not the shortest drive in the world, by the way. So Bobby picks me up from the airport. We go back to South Bend. We pack up the trailer. We head down to Champaign, down to Eli Field. We hang out at Eli Field for 3 days. On Sunday, you know, we spend most of the day packing up, flying, having fun, you know, finishing up our adventure at RC Fest. So we pack everything back up and we start heading back to South Bend. Yeah, by the time we get back to South Bend, it's already like 10 o'clock at night, right? Well, of course, shenanigans take place. And now we're wrecking cars and acting a fool. And, you know, at this point, it's probably like 2 in the morning. Well, we got to get up and start heading back to Chicago to drop my dumb ass off at the airport. You know, so we'd been up all day Sunday, and then we go up to the Big Go warehouse in South Bend. We hang out there. We're basically up all night. Takes me to the airport at 5 in the morning. You know, I go through TSA and all that crap. I'm on the plane. Can't really sleep on the plane because at this point I've been up so long, I'm in like that delirious state. And, you know, by the time I got home Monday afternoon, so I think I landed at like 4 or 5 o'clock and it took me a couple hours to get to my house. I only had like an hour left. I was like, dude, no way. I can't do the show. So that's what happened a couple weeks ago. Last week, you know, that was just work keeping me up all day. But this week, or 2 weeks ago, that's where I was. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. It was the end of an incredible weekend of fun at RC Fest. And I really hope that you guys have an opportunity to make it out because it is sweet. What's up, Spencer, man? Hope you're having a good day there at work. All right. So, how's everybody doing? Man, I've been just kind of rambling. I don't really have anything to show you guys this week, so I feel like one of them slugs that does these shows where I got nothing to talk about. So we're just gonna sit here and do nothing. I don't know if anybody that I work with watches the show, but if you do, please don't take offense to the fact that I'm ignoring your text messages right now. Oh no, GB, ain't nobody want to see that. Yep, nobody wants to see that. Oh, I have another story to tell. Victor, that may happen. You never know, man. I got my can of Monster over here. I don't really like to drink the Monster fast enough to induce burping. So I'm just going to take it easy. My guess is they're actually coming along well. All the video footage has been shot at this point. And as you can see, the Freewing F-16 made it out the other side just fine. And the E-flite F-16 is right over there. I'm looking at it right now. So I did want to share with you guys, I don't wreck a lot of airplanes, right? And when I do, it's usually pretty funny. And yesterday, I had a mishap that was no less funny than any other one that I have experienced. Defrost, that is awesome. So I'm glad that you got it. Oh, Brendan, what's going on, man? Good to see you tonight. So defrost, you know, these airplanes that you guys win from me, they are yours to do whatever you want. So, you know, that makes me happy to know that you gave that Meteor to an active duty soldier who crashed his EDF trainer. That's great. The Meteor should do well for him. So I'm glad you did that, man. That makes me happy. Speaking of things that people won, Victor, I should be able to, provided they are in stock, get your Night Radian sent out tomorrow. I do apologize for the delay. And hopefully they've got some in the California warehouse. That'd be awesome. So yesterday, I take out what are two of my favorite planes to fly, which is the Flightline Spitfire 1600 millimeter. Wonderful plane, and my HSD 182 Cessna. Also an incredible plane. Michael Bear, what is up? What is up? All right, so yeah, Victor, that sucks, dude. So I'll go ahead and get it on order, and whenever it comes in, We'll get it out to you, bud. Yes. Uh, EQ, EQ, I've got it right here. I've got it right here. And I will take it to the post office tomorrow. I got to put it somewhere. I got to take it with me when the show is over and like tape it to my face. I am just a forgetful bastard, dude, and I am so sorry. But here's the charger. I've got it, and we'll get it to you. So yesterday, I'm out at the field. I've got like a whole boatload of charged up batteries. You know, and what's nice about those two planes is they both fly great on 6S5000. So I've got like 26 S5000 packs with me. I'm there to get some flying in, right? I take off, I'm flying the 182 and it's beautiful. I get out the Flightline Spitfire and I'm flying the Spitfire and it's doing awesome as always. I mean, what an incredibly well-behaved plane. You know, you just got to get used to the landing gear. The landing gear is nice and narrow. Spitfire. I thought that was going to get terrible. Oh yeah, GB, I was going out to fly, dude. I was getting some. I mean, and it was nonstop. So, you know, I'd get a plane down, throw a pack in the other plane. I was alternating back and forth. 182 Spitfire, 182 Spitfire. And now that I've got an NX-10, I can do that really quick. It used to take a minute, you know, to do that when I had my IX-12. Oh, that sounds terrible. Like switching back and forth between planes didn't happen that fast. So I'm flying, I'm getting some. I want to say it was like the third or fourth flight of the Spitfire. Everything is just perfect, man. This plane is performing so well. I mean, what an awesome, awesome airplane. And I'm coming in on final, and for the first time ever. So, the first time ever. The trees at my field, you guys have seen my field, you know, CCRC here in Ackworth, Georgia. It's a few miles from my house. It's where most of the motion RC videos are getting filmed. You guys have seen it. You know what it looks like. It is surrounded by trees on all sides, and it is quite the challenge. I don't know how this happened. It has never happened before. I'm coming around, and I guess I was, you know, over the trees, which hardly ever happens. I stay inside the tree line. I'm over the trees, and I'm coming in on approach, and whoop! I mean, the plane, like, it's like the tree reached up in the sky like a baseball player, like an outfielder, snagging somebody's home run. Whoosh! And then the tree like snuck back down into the ground. That's what happened. So the tree extended out of the ground and it grabbed my airplane and then it shrunk back down. That's how this went down. This is a no-shitter. So now my poor Spitfire is stuck in the top of a tree. Now we went and we found it. You know, I found the tree that it's in, and there were no more trees between the runway and this tree. It hit the last possible tree that it could have hit before I was home free, landing. And I was like, man, come on. And I was just so upset, dude. I mean, I wasn't. I was laughing about it, but that's such a special plane to me. I love Spitfires. The Flightline Spitfire is about as good as Spitfires get in foam models. There isn't a better one that I've seen. If you guys can enlighten me, please do. But that thing is just an amazing plane. I mean, this was my probably fourth, fifth flight on the plane that day, yesterday. And I was just devastated, like, come on. So I had to burn up the rest of my packs in the HSD 182. I mean, I didn't stop flying, but we went and we found a thing, you know, and I look up and, you know, I mean, I bring my transmitter with me because I'm listening for servo noises. So I'm just like cycling the sticks, trying to get servo noises. And I hear it, you know, and it almost sounds like it's on the ground. And I'm looking around and I find like a piece of a wingtip, which, you know, it is what it is, right? Plane runs into a tree, it's probably going to get scarred up. So I found what is the left wingtip, just the very tip of like the ellipse of a Spitfire wing. It didn't cut off, you know, it didn't turn it into like a clipped wing. It was just like the little small section where the LED mounts to, you know, and I'm still listening. I look up and there's my Spitfire just hanging in the tree, looking like it's still coming in on final. You know, it was up and down. Everything looked good. You know, you could see the little red LED hanging, but the LED's there. The white flashing beacon on the top is there. The green LED's there. All the ailerons are moving. The rudder's moving. The freaking elevators are moving. The gear's down. I was able to put the gear up because I don't want, if it falls out of the tree on its own, I didn't want it to get like destroyed. Not the plane. I don't think that the plane is going to survive. Even though it looks like it's very repairable in its current state, when and if it falls out of that tree, it's going to die. You know what I'm saying? Michael Bear, I might have said some bad words. Yeah, I didn't lose any Carfair planes. That would have destroyed me, man, to lose like a composite jet to a tree, like, oh God. Fred Barron, what's going on, man? So yeah, the poor Spitfire, even though it looks like it is probably flyable right now, like if it would have been able to fly out of the tree, it'd have been fine. You know, but because it was up in like the very top of this tree, and it wasn't a very big trunk of the tree either. I mean, it was probably like 8 inches around. So, I mean, I could push on the tree and the top was wagging all over the place. But it was tall. It was probably 50 feet tall. I'm trying to shake the tree and get the plane to fall down, right? It's grabbed onto it pretty good. Like, you know, the poor plane is like within the grasp of the tree. And it's not letting go, but it's like the tree just like went whoop and just caught it. And it looks like there's not a lot of damage to the plane. And it just irks me because that 50-foot fall with no power and no control, that's not going to go well. You know, when this thing falls out of the tree, it's not going to go well. Yeah, I didn't have video of me shaking the tree. Although that would be pretty funny. So yes, I believe I'm going to be replacing either the whole plane or if I can manage to get it down and it doesn't get damaged any more than it already is, you know, like if I can find somebody to come and get it down, maybe I'll get lucky because it looks like the fuselage, the prop isn't even broken. That's the thing that kills me. It just whoop. Yes, EQ. So here's what happens. Like the prop was stuck through the other side of the tree. So I tried to give it power and it was pulling the whole tree back. So here's what I was trying to do. I was trying to like give it a surge of power to pull the tree forward and then let it, I was trying to get like some momentum where the whole tree is like, I didn't have reverse thrust. If I had had reverse thrust, I probably could have got the plane out. And that would have been awesome. But it still would have crashed. I just don't think there's a lot of getting the plane out of there without it suffering, suffering quite a bit of damage. It may not like completely destroy itself, but it's going to be broke enough that I'm going to be hurt and disgusted. So it just is what it is. Yeah, Kenny, the fire department's not going to go out there. In order to get out where the trees are, they've got to go through like this swampy kind of marsh area. It's fine to walk on, but it's very mushy, Imagine like the grass at, have you ever been up to Rosewood, Kenny? So when it gets moist up at Rosewood, I don't know if it's because it's on a floodplain or whatever. George can tell you all about it. Up at Rosewood, when the grass gets a little moist, I mean, it is like a disgusting swampland. And it just ain't gonna work, right? There's no way that they're gonna be able to pull a fire truck back into the area where the trees are, because that fire truck would never come out again. Yeah, Nate knows. I mean, like you can step in the wrong spot in Rosewood and, 180-pound human, their foot's going to go and sink like a foot. So, Michael Bear, I also thought about doing this, or like a chop saw, like like a bow saw, with the nasty ass blades. I mean, I could cut through that tree in a minute or two and just cut the damn tree down. But the problem is that it is county property and I just don't want to get myself in a bunch of trouble with the county for cutting a tree down. An R-22. Dude, how badass would that be? I have seen a video. I don't know if it was an R-22. I want to say it was like a Black Hawk. That these guys were flying around in a Black Hawk and somebody had landed an RC plane on like the top of this big old tower. And these guys in this Black Hawk that were, that were kind of watching. Kenny, the ladder's the same scenario. I mean, what are they going to put the ladder on top of? If they put the bottom of the ladder down on the ground, it's going to it's going to be like quicksand. Yeah, and they just went and like, somebody like jumped off the helicopter, threw the airplane up there, climbed back up onto the skid of the helicopter and back up into the helicopter. And, they flew off, landed, gave the plane back to the pilot. I mean, how cool is that? So, yeah, that'd be awesome if I knew somebody that had a helicopter, because the airport's not that far away. But I'm pretty sure that if a helicopter were hovering right over this tree, it would probably blow the airplane out of the tree. Michael Bear, it's probably about, so lucky enough, I happen to have my AR-637T in there, and I was able to see the altimeter. It is about 50 feet in the air, which is more. Yeah, exactly, George. The guys that do like the airplane recovery, like the arborist tree climber dudes, they charge about $400 or $500, We do have a guy at our field that can do it for free, but he doesn't climb the trees unless he has to, right? If it won't come out any other way, but his first option is to try to shake it loose. He doesn't care about your airplane. He just wants you to be able to get like your electronics back, because most of the airplanes that get stuck in a tree, there's no way they're coming down, right? Or they're not coming down without damage. And this is one of those where I think if he were to take the time to go up there and get it and bring it down gingerly, I think I could get away with just replacing the wings and it'd be fine. Yeah, Paul, like I said, I mean, this is county property, dude. We can't be out there shooting guns. We can't go out there cutting trees down. Yeah. Now, Mickey, I could do a potato gun, a spud gun, as you call it. I could do a potato gun, and it would probably work. The other thing that I could do is, you know, depending on how far on the other side of the tree I can get, I don't think it's so high that I couldn't lob like a 1 ounce fishing weight, you know, tie it off to the end of a piece of fishing line and chuck a 1 ounce fishing weight up there. At least grab it onto one of the higher branches of the tree and, you know, tie that off to a rope that I can drag up there. And then once I have the rope up there, you know, just start tugging at the top of the tree, you know, maybe even pull the top of the tree off. I really don't care about the top of the tree. If it breaks, who cares? But just bend it over so much that, that the plane falls out. But anyway, we have a guy that'll get it out for us for free, but he goes to like all these national arbor, you know, he's like a tree climber, like a competitive tree climber. I didn't know that this thing exists. So he does it for us for nothing because he needs to practice, you know, climbing trees. So he'll do it for us, but he is not in town. He won't be in town for like 2 weeks. I don't know what the weather's going to look like in 2 weeks. It might hold up, it might not, right? I got another guy that I can call who is another tree climber. He's called the Catmandu, and he will get it out for free. But he's on a pretty, you know, big schedule too. You know, he can't just come out the next day. So, yeah, I mean, the tree could end up in, or the plane could end up in the tree for a while. I suspect when it gets down, finally, I hope that the receiver still works, and I'll just buy another plane and try to salvage as much of the electronics as I can. If I can get it down and repair it, I certainly will. But if I have to replace most of the foam, I'm in a better position to just go ahead and get a whole new airplane. You know what I mean? The tree would. Yeah, so Kenny, the power company doesn't give a crap about my RC airplane. Maybe in, you know, the town in Florida where you're at, you know, the power company's not busy and, you know, the fire department isn't responding to actual emergencies. But here in Cobb County, where there's like 3 or 4 actual fires a day and real emergencies that these guys are responding to, and the power company is responding to real problems with the power, you know, these guys don't have the time in a busy ass town like this to come and help me out getting an airplane out of a tree. So anyway, it'll happen. at some point. There's not much to grab onto, Tim. It's like an 8-inch tree, and it's one of those where, there's no limbs on this tree until you get up, probably 20, 30 feet to the top of the tree. I don't know what kind of pine tree it is, or if it's a fir tree or whatever, but it's one of them weird ones that it's super tall and it's all trunk until you get like quite a bit of a ways up there. So by the time you get up there, the trunk is so much smaller, so up near where the plane is, the trunk is maybe only 3 inches around. So if I can get a rope up there, I can probably just bow the tree over, just hang on the damn thing and bow it over and get the plane to fall out. But if you went up there, by the time you get halfway up the tree, you're going to have so much weight on the smaller portion that I think you'd end up breaking the tree, which would be really bad, probably for several bones in your body. Mr. Reitza, how you doing tonight? So yeah, that's the dilemma I'm in. My Spitfire, gone forever. Funny story though. EQ, I've got a slingshot, and I have tried to slingshot like a golf ball or even regular shot up the tree. One of the things that I could try to do, but I don't want to destroy the airplane in the process, even though it's probably going to get destroyed anyway. I probably could shoot the limbs out with like a pellet rifle. I've got, yeah, I was never a big gym rope climber. I'll figure something out. Yep, we'll get something going. You know, uh, Dewan Smith is a windy day. I mean, I had that tree moving yesterday because the propeller is like not broken and sticking out, where I had that whole tree like waving back and forth and I could not dislodge it. I mean, that thing wasn't moving. So yeah, I mean, there's a few things that I'll try to see if I can get the thing out of there, and we'll see what happens. If worse comes to worse, the tree guy will be available in a couple of weeks, and he'll be able to get it out. He always gets them out. They're just not always in the best of shape by the time you get them back. Yep. So last night, once the sun starts going down, so I think most of the folks here know that I'm like a big fan of the night Radian. That's one of my, that's another one of the planes that I've been flying a lot lately is the night Radian. So I don't go to the field, especially during this time of the year where it starts to get dark around, 7 o'clock, 7:30. I mean, that's the time to put the night Radian up. And here at the beginning of November, when we roll all the clocks back an hour, that's going to be awesome, you know, because that's going to give me 3-4 hours of being able to fly the night Radian. You know, and as always, you know, I had some folks out there, and even though, so I'll just keep going with this. So I'm out there, I get the battery in the night Radian, whoosh, we take off, right? Yeah, the fire department in Cobb County is way too busy to even think about asking them to do something like that. I guess I could. I mean, all they can say is no, right? I mean, we'll see what happens. It is county property. So I know the police come out there and like practice flying their drones. You know, they have like police drones. So, I mean, it may be something where the fire department would maybe entertain the idea of coming and doing it, but I'm not gonna bother them if they say like, what? We ain't got no time for that crap. Right, Mickey B, it doesn't really matter. Georgia actually passed a resolution to not observe daylight savings time anymore, but it was more of a preliminary bill, like in the event that the federal government decides to abolish daylight savings time, we've already got a bill in place that allows us to do it right away, which doesn't make sense, right? Like, if we don't want to observe it anymore, why do we have to? Why don't we just tell the United States, like, hey, we're not going to do that anymore? So, like, Georgia has this bill that means nothing. Like, we passed a law that means nothing. Like, we don't observe daylight savings time anymore, but because the federal government does, we're going to keep playing along until, you know, until the federal government decides to do it on their own, right? Stupid. So anyway, it gets pretty dark out. I put up the night Radian, I'm flying it around, and, you know, it's up there pretty high. I'm playing around with the different light modes because I've got the wing nut controller, so I'm adjusting, you know, the little, you know, the little knob on the top of my transmitter, and I'm changing the lights and making them look different colors and seem to, you know, trying to find what I like the best. And there's a lot of, you know, cool stuff in there. You know, and as it starts to putter out or whatever, the battery gets low, I start to, you know, just kind of spiral down, because that's kind of how you get them in a controlled amount of airspace. I found that's the best way to get them down, is to just kind of spiral down. And as it's coming down, I see what looks like somebody shining a flashlight in my face. And I'm like, what the hell's going on over there? It's at the end of the runway. There's somebody shining a damn flashlight in my face. Like, who the heck would be doing that? So I get the thing down. I'm the only person at the field now. Well, there's one person at the field left with me, and we're both kind of saying the same thing, like, what the hell is that light over there? Like, who's over there shining a light in my face? And I get the plane down. I go, I pick it up, you know, take it over the bench, take the battery out. And I look back over at the end of the runway, and it's not anybody with a light. It's my poor damn Spitfire sitting in the tree with the beacon on the top, letting us all know, like, Dad, I'm still here. You're gonna come get me or what? So I don't know if it's still, you know, if it's still over there blinking, but my poor plane, you know, was still blinking at me at 9 o'clock last night. Yeah. Like, man, I really wanted to get the plane out of the tree. And I tried, man. Hey, Lyndon, how you doing, buddy? Hey, Lyndon, the guy, so I'm going to look at something real quick. Because the shipping agent for the stuff that we've got here for you, it's a guy named Simon Forrester. Does that sound familiar, Lyndon? Simon Forrester? So Simon Forrester had sent me an email. I responded to his email and told him what the dimensions are of the packages that we're wanting to send out to you. And I have not gotten a response back from him. I sent that email to him on September 15th. Yeah, on September 15th, I sent the response back, letting him know, like, here's the dimensions of the packages that we need to get sent out. He hasn't sent back anything since then. So I don't know if that's something where you can get in touch with him. I don't know if you can ring him on the phone. But, you know, for whatever reason, he hasn't replied back to my request for a quote to get, you know, the things that we have for you, to get those things sent down. I need to hear from him. He needs to read my email, dude. Did somebody say they like EQ? Are you for real? Like you want Hobby King to be at Null? Like for real? Do you want Dynam to be there too? I'm just kidding, dude. Like that just seems like one of those people that would ruin everything. Like we're going to Null in the fall to show off our junkware. Nobody wants Hobby King planes at Null. Nobody wants freaking like bring the flight test guys and their foam board airplanes, but keep that Hobby King junk, you know, keep that away from Joan Hall. Joan Hall's a classy place. Boss 223, is there a list of vendors that are going to be at Null in the fall? I haven't seen it. I haven't looked because I'm going to be in Pittsburgh next week, and that sucks. I am flying out Tuesday morning, and I will be in Pittsburgh until Friday. And my understanding is that most of the folks, you know, are going to be there Monday through Friday, and they're going to be packing up and leaving Saturday morning. So, I mean, if I were to come to Null in the fall, it'd be Saturday and Sunday only. And if no one's going to be there Saturday and Sunday, it's just a wash this year. Yeah, we got some folks at we got some folks from the club here that are going to be going to Joe Null, to the Null in the fall, and if I didn't have to do this work thing, I'd be going, right? Because I love it. It's just not happening. It's not in the cards this year, which really sucks. But you know, there There are events in my life taking place that may put me in a position where I can be there every year, and that'd be awesome. Oops. Yep. If I didn't have to be up in Pittsburgh, I'd be going for sure. So we'll see what happens though. The downtown original is the best. The rest are okay. Are you talking to David Snyder? Like, you know what, right? How long have you been in Buffalo? Have you been in Buffalo like your whole life? Oh, Primanti brother, is that like a place in Pittsburgh that I should go to get a sandwich? Barry Campbell, what's going on, buddy? I might check it out. I might check it out. I mean, it better be a hell of a sandwich. The Pittsburgh famous sandwich. Anyway, Reitza, how long have you been in Buffalo? Have you been in Buffalo like your whole life? Or did you move there after you retired or what? It'll change my sandwich life. So, Reitza, you were there like when the buffalo wing was invented. So I have to ask you, Reitza, because it's just something that I need to know. You know, you've been around. Surely in your adventures of, you know, traveling the globe, or at least traveling some portion of the United States, when you were an engineer on a choo-choo train, you've been to other towns. Now, back in like the 1940s when the buffalo wing was invented and you were able to eat like one of the first batches of buffalo wings to ever be made, do you like buffalo wings? You know, number one, do you like hot wings? And are the wings that you get, you know, this is kind of like the Philly cheesesteak, you know. Does anybody make a better cheesesteak than what you can get in Philadelphia? Does anybody make a better chicken wing, a better hot wing than what you can get in Buffalo? Well, you know, Fred Barron, Rice is the only person I know that truly knows the answer of which came first, the chicken or the egg. Because he was there when it happened. Michael Bear, I'm in. You know, don't threaten me with a good time. Those sandwiches cause massive farting. Like, so Lyndon, just make sure that he knows that I sent it on like the 15th, I think. Yeah, I sent it September 15th. So if he can't find it, tell him to check all the emails that he received on September 15th. And he should find it. And check his spam mail and all that crap. Awesome. Yep, so that's when I sent the email, September 15th. As soon as we get a quote, we can start getting this stuff heading on its way to you. Or at least get it, get it down there to him and, ready to go on the next ship that's going to be heading out to Guyana. Charles McDaniel, I am back. And if you've been looking for me over the last couple of weeks, I do apologize for my absence. I wasn't leaving forever. I just needed a break on those 2 particular days, which normally are not 2 days in a row. I'm fine. My family's fine. Everything's good. But, weird circumstances, y'all. Weird circumstances that just happened to coincide 2 weeks in a row where I just couldn't do it. Couldn't make it. But thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And everybody that's here tonight, you guys are fantastic. Thank you all for coming and participating in these crazy shows. One of the things that I am pretty happy to see, and it's been there for a while, but it's also been a while since I've done a fly-in. So, yes, the 27th. It's been a while since I've done a fly-in, right? So, I don't know if I'll be able to do one next week because I got to go to Pittsburgh, which really sucks. It's like all of the things that I plan, like work is sucking a lot of, they're not like removing joy from my life, but there's a lot of what I had established to be routine things that I haven't been able to do because I have a job that I'm much more involved in now than, the work that I've been doing over the past year. So that stinks. I may not be able to do the fly-in next week. So, apologies in advance for all the people that like it. If I can, though, what I am kind of excited to use for the first time is, like where you can put like emojis in. So at least for me, and you guys may not be able to see this, but at least for me, at the bottom of the chat window, there's like a create a poll thing. So I can actually run a poll like in the chat for this live show, right? Instead of having y'all go to like my community page, you don't have to leave the live show to be able to participate in the poll, which is cool. So we can take all of the names for the people that are participating in the fly-in, plug them into the poll, and you guys just vote. Now, I'm not a big fan of the whole vote thing, so if we have like a 2-way tie, something like that, I like the random wheel a little better because I really want to go back. I like the idea of everybody that participates in the fly-in having an equal opportunity to win, you know, whatever the prize of the night's going to be. It always starts as a gift certificate and evolves into something bigger. So, you know, I think the biggest one we've done so far was like a $300 gift certificate to Horizon, which is amazing. So, yes. So we probably won't be doing a poll, but I like the idea of having the ability to create a poll. That way, if we do have something that I need you guys to vote on ever, I can just create a poll and say, you know, awesome. Let's see. Oh no, there's a key on my keyboard that doesn't work anymore. That sucks. Oh, I just want to put the M key. I got to try this out. Oh, there we go. So, can y'all see that? Oh. How did that work? Are y'all able to see the poll? So what's funny is we can't see how many people, you know, voted for each thing. We just see percentages. Oh, it's probably in the chat, George Watts. I mean, obviously you have the chat pulled up, or you wouldn't be able to chat. But I think it's up like where the pin chat is at the top. Yeah. So right now the yeses are winning, 76 to 24%. I'm a little surprised, man. I didn't really realize how many. Yeah. So I'm seeing 26 votes, and we're at 77 to 23%, with 77% of the folks that have voted are in favor of the poll. That's awesome. All right. So can y'all see that? 27 votes, 77% of people love the poll. Yes. 77% of the people that watch my show love the poll. The polls don't lie. The numbers don't lie, folks. That's funny. Yes, poll complete. Yep. Move along. Moving along. These are not the droids you're looking for. Mike Bird, you know, if you don't stay for the conversation, stay for the poll. Everybody knows that Air Marshal Monday has the best poll on YouTube. Oh, dang. That's fun. Yeah, I don't know why I'm seeing, 77 and 22. I mean, the math doesn't work. 77 and 22 is only 99%. The math would work out better if it was 98 and 22. Or 78 and 22, not 98. Dude, while I hate you, Mr. freaking webcamschat.com, hot girls and boys video chat, you got to go, homie. EQ, I don't think that, I know that they have done trade up programs in the past. The troll has been hidden. And I have to say, yeah. Barry Campbell, I hid that idiot. So at least for now, that idiot is hidden in the channel. So they will not be able to make any more comments. But they may change their name slightly and be back here momentarily, which is cool. Free love and all that good stuff. So I'll tell you, here's what I'm thrilled about. That while these people, so EQ, let me get back to that, and then I'll talk about the troll. So Horizon, I think, did a trade-up program a while back, but in my discussions with them, that was like a one-time deal, maybe like a two-time deal, and they don't have any plans currently to do anything like that again. It was a promotion that they were running. So who knows if we'll see another promotion like that. And if we do, I have no idea when we'll see it. But right now, at this very moment in time, Horizon does not have an active trade up promotion for NX10 or any of the NX series radios. So, sorry, dude. So, what I was going to say about the troll is as much as I hate the idea of, this troll dude, like interrupting y'all's good time, I am thrilled with the fact that a troll found my chat and disrupted you guys. No. I'm not cleaning toe jam. That would be gross. I actually was working on something that you guys can't see. So, and I have no idea other than OCD why I had to do it right at that moment. I guess that was rude. So, sorry, dude. Ah. So EQ, like your DX80, it doesn't work anymore? Is that what the problem is? Oh yeah, Joe Pellegrino, that is awesome. I hope that you enjoy that thing. That is an awesome piece of equipment. And I'll tell everybody else, if you have the scratch to get an iX20 or an iX20 SE, what a bad transmitter. And not bad in a bad way, like bad in the best way possible. The smoothest gimbals ever, the snappiest touchscreen ever. I mean, it is everything that you could want that type of transmitter to be. It's awesome. The iX20 SE is bad to the bone. So if you're looking for, for a like top tier transmitter, and and you're down with the Spektrum action, iX20 SE all day. Awesome. So Joe, I'm glad you got it, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yes, the troll is a bot, but I'm thrilled to have trolls. Like, I feel like I've made it. So anyway, EQ, about the DX80, send it to him. The chances are likely. Now, I mean, I can't say for sure, but my understanding is that Horizon, provided that you're not like a weenie to them, that if you open up a ticket, send them your transmitter, they'll fix it, they'll send it back to you, and oftentimes they will do it for a very reasonable price. I can't say what the price is going to be because I don't know off the top of my head, but I have heard people say, I've sent in a radio that was 4 years old and they mailed it back to me and didn't charge me a dime to fix it. So, take that for what it's worth. I don't know, exactly what your situation would be, but I say it's worth a shot to go ahead and send it up there. Whether it's in warranty, out of warranty, it's got to be registered to you. So that's the only, the only real caveat there. And yeah, send it in. I think you get it back working at a very reasonable price. Certainly less than you would pay for an NX8. I mean, if the DX8E was working well for you, and you don't want to spend the money to upgrade, and the DXE, the DX8E took a crap, I would mail it to the Horizon Service Center and see what happens, because chances are you're going to get it back. You're going to get it back faster than you expect to. It's going to be working very well at a much lower price than you thought you would have had to pay to get it fixed. Jimmy Leonard, I don't know. I mean, obviously there are people that have different experiences, you know, when they call into Horizon customer support, but I have never had anything but pleasurable outcomes when I've dealt with Horizon customer support in the past, regardless of the situation. I've got a lot of Horizon products. You know, I had my Commander MPD, aileron servo died. They sent me another one, no problem. Big Creighton 6S, steering servo died. They sent me another one, no problem. What was it? Apprentice S, twice. The horizontal stab has come delaminated, and they sent me another one. No questions asked. I mean, I've countless times, any time that I have called them with any kind of issue for any plane, any truck, any car, radios, you name it, anytime I've ever called Horizon for support, they have always had my back. So while I know that there are people that don't have great experiences, that has not been my, you know, that hasn't been how I've experienced Horizon Hobby customer support. So while I get it, I think that everybody's situation is unique, and we all have, you know, a different opinion of Horizon Hobby customer service. I've never had anything but great results using Horizon Hobby customer service. They've been fantastic. So, you know, sorry you've had a hard time with them, man. That sucks. Michael Bear. Yeah, there you go. Michael Bear left the transmitter in the rain for a week, packed it up, and sent it to Lyndon. That is great, and I will check that here shortly. In fact, I'll go ahead and check it now. Hey, there we go. So Lyndon, without giving me a quote, he says to send it to his address. I need a quote first. I'm not sending anything to his address. I'll reply to him. You know, as long as he's checking my emails now. So Jimmy Leonard, I mean, this may sound asshole-ish, and I really don't want it to. I don't call customer service anymore. You know, all of my experiences with customer service was before I was anybody for them to know. You know what I mean? Like, they know who I am now, but now I don't have to call customer service anymore. I call the marketing managers that I work with on a regular basis and say, hey, this battery failed, and they'll just send me another one. Hey, you know, my truck died, and I get like a box of parts. It's different now. I mean, I don't really call support anymore, which is, you know, call it unfair. It is what it is. But You know, I'm talking about my experience in dealing with them before I had any kind of affiliate partnership with them, if that makes sense. Yeah, the live chat's the way to go. Yeah, Charles McDaniel, that's what I'm talking about. Snow Valley Park, that has been my experience as well. That anytime the chat window is available, that's what I use. I usually get somebody right away, and it's always been great. Yeah, right. So that's also been my experience. That anytime I've engaged them in the chat, if they needed further explanation or it just wasn't, things weren't being conveyed well in chat, I typically would get a phone call from whoever the rep was I was working with on the other side. I mean, and like I said, it's terrible that you had a bad experience, Jimmy, and I wish it wasn't that way because they've always been great to me before they even knew who I was. Yeah, and Snow Valley Park, that is industry wide. You know, yeah, the part is out of stock. I'm waiting on a new nose cone for my F-16. You know, I wanted to replace the nose cone and get a new pitot tube, which are two different pieces, by the way. Um, and the nose cone and the pitot tube are on back order till like November, so I'll be waiting a while. Yep. Yep, that is the sad reality of today is we have ships that are sitting waiting to be loaded. So containers that are sitting on ships that are getting shipped back to China that are waiting to be offloaded from those ships so they can be filled with product. And we have containers that are sitting on ships that are sitting outside all the shipping ports that aren't getting unloaded. So, you know, it could be weeks. You know, there could be ships that are sitting in the harbor for weeks before anybody ever touches them. You know, like the amount of time it's going to take for the container to get loaded and get shipped. Everything is so unpredictable right now, you know, which is why we've seen releases be very sporadic, or you know, a product will get released and you know, it's been in the past where I think, and this is just a guess, right? So don't take my word for it. This is just a guess. You know, Horizon, I believe, has usually been a company that would go ahead and announce and place on pre-order a product that they knew had already been put on a container and was on a ship and on its way over here. I think that's still happening. That it's on the ship, it's on the water, it's on its way over to the United States. They'll go ahead and do their product announcement, they'll do their pre-order, and it used to be that within about 3 weeks, it was over here, it was distributed to the 2 distribution centers, and they were ready to start shipping within about 3 weeks of it hitting the water in China. Now, they're making their product announcement when it hits the water, it might be 6 to 8 weeks. It might be 3 months before we ever see the product start shipping, because that's how long it's taken to get over here, where it's just sitting in the bay waiting to get unloaded for a month and a half. What the crap, you know? I mean, that's what we're dealing with now, and it's terrible. Yeah, AirVex, that's awesome, man. And those are the kinds, it's far more typical. Joe Pellegrino, have a good day, man. Stay safe getting home. See Mafia, what up? So, yeah, Michael Bear, dude, that you're not lying. And I'll tell you, I enjoy putting the flight test planes together. I've had several of them over the years. Um, I just don't like doing them from the straight foam board sheets anymore. The white foam board that you get from the Dollar Tree, like taking the plans and transposing it to the foam board and cutting out the foam and doing all that stuff, that I enjoyed it the first time. The second time, it was okay. By the third time, I was sick of it. But the speed build kits, and that's all to get back to this. The speed build kits from Flight Test are totally worth it. You know, you're going to pay $30 for $2 worth of foam. But the fact that somebody has already applied the template, used a laser cutter to cut out all the parts and pieces for you, and I don't have to sit there with like an X-Acto knife and all that other crap, I can just pop the parts out. Man, the speed build kits are totally worth every penny, because I would spend 3 hours in just trimming parts. The construction of the airplanes are easy. You know, applying the templates, creating the templates, cutting out the templates, that part sucked, and I hated it. So I am all about flight test speed build kits, getting an airframe for 30, 40 bucks, 50 bucks for like the master built kits. Man, if you got the patience to put them together, those master built flight test kits are pretty nice. You know, like that's a hell of an airplane for 50 bucks. You have to put it together. So, to me, it's not that different from the old balsa planes, other than it's made out of foam board. It still takes talent to put those kits together. As much talent as it did to, to put together a balsa kit. And especially now that we have like die cut and laser cut balsa kits, you guys that have put a balsa kit together, that's a pain in the ass. Speaking of that, my Mustang kit, I'll be getting to that here soon because it's starting to get cold outside. And that's going to be my winter project, is putting my little Mustang together. So, that's going to be my first stick built kit in a long time. Keith Christie, what is up, man? Dennis Farley, Race 22 crew. Bad customer service issues is more times due to an individual. If you've had a bad experience, disconnect and try again. You may get a different outcome. Lionel Randall, you're not wrong. That every person has a different experience when they contact customer service. I can't tell people how to live their lives, right? But I can't think of very many times when I've had a bad customer service experience. And not just with Horizon. You know, I've had to call Motion customer service on a couple of different occasions, and they've always been extremely helpful and sent the parts that I needed right away. You know, for my Avanti, I've had a couple of parts that I needed for the Avanti. They've sent me parts for that F-18. They sent me parts for the F-22, and I didn't even buy that from Motion. But they helped me out when I needed some parts. So what I will say, you know, and take it for what it's worth, you catch a lot more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. So if you call them up and you're being nasty with them, or you're being crass, you know, or you're kind of being a smartass, or you're blaming everything on them, remember that the person that you're talking to, they are a representative of the company. They are not the person who built your plane that's messed up. They're not the person that built the servo. They are not the owner of Horizon Hobby. They are not, you know, the person that packed your item. They didn't crush anything. They're not FedEx. They are customer service representatives. Treat those folks with respect, guys. I mean, we all know I don't call customer service to tell them what a great day I'm having. You know what I'm saying? I don't call customer service to tell them it's a beautiful day in Georgia and I wish you were here. I call customer service because I have a problem. And if I call customer service and I am nasty to those poor people, they're going to be the human psychology is still on full display when you're talking to a human. And, you know, being nice goes a long way. The person on the other end of that phone line should not be the victim of your bad day, if that makes sense. You know, so I will call them up and say something to the effect of, I've got this plane, it's got this part, it's not working right, you know. I know this isn't your fault, but I'm pretty upset about it. You know, can you please help me? And I'm nice, I'm courteous, and these folks, they, you know, if you treat them with respect, they will be compelled to help you. That's how I've treated every customer service representative that I've ever spoken to from any company, even ones with bad reputations. And 9 times out of 10, I've always gotten the help that I needed, whether that was parts, service, repair, you know, whatever the case may be. You know, a little bit of kindness goes a long way, guys. That's all I'm saying. Oh, Michael Bayer, customer service for any company sucks. I mean, let's face it. Like I said, nobody calls customer service to tell them what a gorgeous day it is outside. Anybody that's calling customer service, like, you have to know every time you pick up the phone, there's somebody that's upset with their product on the other side. Or there's somebody that's upset with an order they placed. Someone that has a problem that they want you to help them resolve. That's how it always is. You know, every time you answer the phone when you're in a customer facing or customer service position, everybody has a problem and they all want you to solve it. What an I mean, I don't want to say crappy position because I think it's a privilege in some ways to be put in a position to help people. Um, how receptive people are to the help that you want to provide, you know, it's also odd to me how many people don't like the outcome that you offer to them. Like, this is what we can do for you. Bop, 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 bop. Well, that's no good. I want this. Well, I mean, this is what I can do for you. Let me talk to your manager. You know, like, okay, give me a second. Or, you know, I'm going to sue Horizon. Like, you know what? I can't talk to you anymore. We have to go straight to the legal department. This conversation's over. Here's the number for our legal representatives. Bye-bye. Can't talk to you no more. Have fun with the lawyers. You know, it's what a thankless job that is. You know, so I think that most of these people are thrilled when you call them up and you treat them with a little respect, you treat them like a human. You're nice, you're courteous, you say please, you say thank you, all the things that your mom wanted you to do. Show some nice mannerisms. You treat them, you know, like they're a good person that has what you need. And the only way that you're going to get it is by being nice. And your results in dealing with customer service will probably be much different. Oh, Race 22 crew. Yeah, that unfortunately happens a lot. You know, that, oh, this happened and it's because the airplane sucked. Come on, man. Like, we've all been there. We've all done stupid, stupid crap. You know, whether we've been at this hobby for 20 years or we've been at this hobby for 20 minutes, we've all done stupid, stupid crap and destroyed a brand new airplane because we did something stupid. Everybody makes mistakes and you have to be willing to own it. If you wreck a plane because you did something stupid, own it. You know, just like I was talking about earlier, I put my Spitfire in a tree yesterday. Man, am I upset with myself? Of course. When I get the plane back, am I going to call Motion RC and be like, the plane, you know, the battery was perfect. It's only the third time I've ever run that battery and I lost power and it fell into a tree. And then, you know, now it's damaged beyond repair because your plane sucks. Like, no, that was my fault. I did that. I ran that plane into a tree. The plane didn't run itself into a tree. I was in control. I didn't lose the radio. I'm more than comfortable with myself in saying, I did that crap. That was 100% my fault. And everybody should be willing to say the same. If you have a new plane and you screwed it up, that's your fault. And the people at these customer service places, they know, and it's a sad, sad, sad reality. And I wish that the integrity of most of the people that call were better than what I'm about to describe, but the people at these companies, whether we're talking Horizon, Motion, Hobby King, Banana, you name it, they know what most likely happened is you destroyed your airplane and you're trying to get a free one in return. That there's nothing wrong with the electronics, there's nothing wrong anywhere. which is why Horizon is going to be ridiculous, and they're going to say, well, send us the entire airplane for evaluation. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want the whole airplane. Motion is the same way. They want you to send them the whole airplane. Why? Because they want to see for themselves, is there really anything wrong with the blue box? Is there really anything wrong with the electronics? Did you really lose signal to this radio? You know, all these things that people use as excuses for why their plane went into the dirt, most of it's garbage. And everybody in this room, admit it or not, we all know that it's garbage. We all know that that's crap. That's people making up some reason to shirk responsibility for their poor skills off on somebody else. I'm sorry, I said it. Usually, it's pilot error. Boom. Eat it. If you're not willing to accept responsibility and own your mistakes, then this is not the hobby for you. That's that. And that's what these poor companies and the poor customer service representatives have to deal with every day. So, take it for what it is. Yep. And regardless of, even when you lose signal, unless that was pre-installed by the manufacturer, when you lose signal, if you position the aerials of the receiver incorrectly, that is pilot error. Your radio didn't lose signal. You positioned the antennas wrong. That's your fault, homeboy. Yeah, exactly, Gooniac. Yeah, anytime you're dealing with these customer service folks, man, none of these companies are here to rip you off. None of these companies are here to deliver a poor customer experience. All of them want to help you because you're the core of their business. Trust me, the people that watch these shows, the people that are tuned in right now, however many of you there are, I don't look at that anymore because it's depressing. The people that watch this show are passionate modelers, and we buy up a lot of product. I promise you, Horizon and Motion and Hobby King and Banana and whoever else you buy your models from, they don't want you upset. They want to help you. Their customer service team is here to help us have a good customer experience. So, remember, when you call Horizon or Motion or Hobby King or Banana or whoever you got your model from, or you go to your local hobby shop and you have a problem with a model, don't run in there with flames snorting out of your nose. Walk in there and be kind and courteous, explain your situation in a civilized manner, and tell them, be assertive, but not rude. Tell them what your expectations are and be realistic about your expectations. Don't go in there and say, I want a whole new airplane. Say, this is what happened. Would you guys, can you help me out? Is there any way that you can replace these parts for me so I can get my brand new airplane working? Don't be one of those ding-dongs that goes, I shouldn't have to do this because it's a brand new airplane. Man, new parts fail all the time. Don't be that way. New parts fail. Stuff gets through the QA process. It may have worked fine when it left China and it's broke the next day. How many of you guys have had a servo where one day you turn it on, one moment at the field, you're running your plane, all your servos work fine. The next time you power up the plane, servo's dead, right? Never coming back to life again. The whole board's fried. You don't think that happens during the QA process? And hello, do you think that they actually test every servo, or do they make a batch of servos and they pick a few random samples to be controls and they test those 4 out of 100 or those 4 out of 1,000, and say, hey, these 4 work, and there is an assumption that the other 996 also worked. If all 4 fail, they take all 1,000 of them and they test every single one of them. If you don't know how QA works, then it's hard to state your opinion when you don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, the end of this show has become very opinionated, and I've become, a bit of a strong, snooty mess. So it's 10 o'clock. I got to get going, but I appreciate everybody being here tonight. I have enjoyed being back on the air. I may not be back next week because I have to travel to Pittsburgh next week for work, but I will be back the week after that. It is 10:04, so that means that in 10 minutes, 11, be sure to tune in to Gooniac 33 Fire Booty's YouTube channel, where he is going to be having his show. Hopefully you're having your show. And feel free, Gooniac, to put up a link to your show. There it is. So if you guys want to come and support our good buddy Ray, head over to the Gooniac 33 Fire Booty channel and check out Ray's live show, and we can keep this conversation going. Anyway, for tonight, again, I appreciate everybody coming back. It's good to be back. Sorry I haven't been around for the last couple of weeks, and I apologize in advance because I'm probably not going to be around next week either. And hopefully here, 2 weeks from tonight, we will be back on a more regular schedule. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate everybody watching, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Everybody have a great night. See you over at Gooniac's channel. Good night, guys.